Hi everyone, welcome. I'm Jen Seal. I want to welcome you to today's practice. Our intention today is on ahimsa. It's the first principle of yoga, and it means loosely to do no harm. Okay, so in other words, practicing kindness. And I'm recording this amidst the George Floyd death and the riots that are ensuing all over the world. You know, it's just a crazy, crazy time for us. We're still in the pandemic. And so we need to really practice not only self-care to ourselves, not only kindness to ourselves, but spread kindness to others. So it begins by us taking care of our own selves. Okay, so what does that look like on your mat as you practice kindness on your mat? Well, you know, kindness is more than just like, hey, not pushing someone or not stealing. It's about not having negative thoughts about ourselves. So on our yoga mat, let's say we're doing ego pose and you fall out of it 15 times, you start to beat yourself up. That's not practicing ahimsa. So I want you to notice today where you may be a little bit unkind to yourself and just allow yourself to just experience whatever it is, okay? All right, so get yourself into a comfortable position. I'm sitting on my couch cushion. I'm going to take my socks off. It was a little chilly in here in my house today when I got back. All my windows were open. So comfortable, right? Hips are lifted. Knees are open. Your sitting bones are pressing down into the cushion, into the floor, into your mat, wherever you are. Take a nice deep breath in as you lift the shoulders up and down the back. And close the eyes. And just allow for like that upper body to begin to just open and feel lighter as you draw the breath in. Nice and softly through the nose, out through the nose. And maybe throw the shoulders in the other direction. Don't throw them, roll them. And then just begin to come into a little bit of stillness. Take any little last movements you might need to do that. So whatever you did today, we're just going to sort of let it stay outside. The door's gone. The day's gone. The day's over. So as you draw the breath in, nice and softly and sweet through the nose, just feel a growing lengthening of the spine and up through the crown of the head, up towards the ceiling, towards the sky. An expansion in the body. And as you exhale, maybe through the mouth the first couple of times. The word relax is hard because sometimes we just can't relax, but try to release. Think of releasing. Letting go of something that isn't serving you. Stressing a little less. And being open to whatever this practice offers you today. So begin to take that external world by closing the eyes, drawing your senses inward into the internal space of your body, into that breathing body, the breath. Draw a little bit of gratitude in that you are still breathing. Now just do a little systematic check-in as you continue to breathe, maybe now through the nose and out through the nose systematically. It's a beautiful marriage of in-breaths and out-breaths. Letting go of any little bit of tension where you may feel it, whether it be in the neck, the shoulders, the hips, the lower back, the inner thighs, even around the face of the jaw. A sense of inner peace, inner awareness. Just observe how you're feeling in this moment. I want you to draw attention to your mind and draw attention to where there might be some place where you are being unkind to yourself or to someone else or to others. Is there a way to change that by drawing your awareness to the fact that it happens? It's not going to be perfect. We're just looking to be aware. Take 3 more nice deep breaths on your own. Try not to rush the breath. So notice how it brings in the stillness. Take one last breath in. And release, let it go. Bring your hands to your heart space. Maybe even bring your hand to your heart, one hand to your heart, one hand to your belly. I want you to draw that intention of kindness into that heart space. Let's see if you can practice that on your mat today. Take another breath in. And release. Slowly flutter the eyes open. Just reach the arms up overhead. Almost reach up towards the ceiling. Exhaling, hands behind the back. Clasp the hands, knuckles down, chest opens, lift the chin up. Good, reach the arms up one more time. We'll just hinge forward here. So just reach forward, bow forward. Breathe into the back. And slowly rise. And take your cushiony thing out. It's just so nice to sit on a cushion, I feel. Wow, so much, it looks like harder when you bring your sitting bones down to the ground. All right, I brought blocks to my mat just so I could have them here in case, but I'm not necessarily going to guide you toward them. If you want them, use them. If you don't need them, don't worry about that. They just create extra space. So come all the way into aisle fours, come all the way up to plank pose. I just want you to pause here. Just want you to feel just like the power of your arms, power of your core, awakening that body. And slowly just lift yourself up to downward facing dog. Pedal the feet. Letting the head bow, looking back towards the toes. Shaking the head yes and no, left and right. Good. And slowly roll yourself back up towards high plank pose. Breathing in here, exhale back, downward dog, bending the knees, belly to thighs. Roll back up. High plank and back down. Spine rhythm here. Let's do 2 more. Rolling to the spine, undulate to the spine, then come to that beautiful high plank and roll back. Bending those knees, straightening them, then rolling again. Flipping the ball down to your toes, looking forward, and then rolling back. Flow with the breath last time. Rolling here, stay, hinge forward, lower down. Tops of the feet press down, elbows hug in and roll up to that gentle first cobra pose. Just try to elongate the front of the body, draw the hands towards the elbows, chest forward, shoulders down, and lower down. Curl the toes, press up, and again back into that downward facing dog. Let's do that again 2 more times. Roll up, look forward, lower down, up to cobra, 1 breath. Still lengthening forward, lower down, press up, use your arms to lift up and back to down dog. Breathe it out, rolling up, and lowering down. 4 salutations, then lift up cobra. Each time you might feel you're coming a little bit higher and down, curl the toes. Come up here, pause, knees wide, sink back, child's pose. You might want to bring your arms back behind you and might turn your cheek to a side. Maybe the forehead come down to the mat. Or maybe you want to keep your hands in front of you. It's totally up to you. Good. Reach those hands back forward if they're not there. And come back up. Hands to knees, cat-cow. Curl the toes under if you'd like. Drop the belly, lift the chest. Exhale, belly to spine. This is where we really get to use our breath here, you guys, with our movement. So practice that here. A lot of people ask me, I don't know where I should be breathing. Well, here, as you press and you lift, that's the in-breath. And you follow that breath all the way to the top, maybe even looking up. As you exhale, you pull the belly in, try to engage the core so you can use that to push the air out of those lungs. Do one more. And then exhale. Nice job. I walked a little far away from the front of my mat, so come back forward. Stand your right leg back, lift that right leg up. Bend the knee. Reach your right or left arm up, and reach back for the back heel. Re-extend forward and push the heel back. Bend and touch. Again, with the breath, we made it a little bit more difficult. Now we get to engage that right glute. Let's just do one more. And if you want, grab the top of the foot. Press into it. Maybe look forward. Keep pressing your palm into the mat and push and lift up to the upper shoulders. One more breath here. And release. Good. Left leg back, bend. Right arm forward, tap. This is a poor choice of shirts today. Goodness gracious. Inhale, extend, long. Exhale, reach back and tap. Inhale, exhale. Two more. Inhale. I'm just looking down right at the front edge of my mat. Exhale. Inhale. And then maybe grab the top here. So instead of having the shoulder down, if you can, this is hard for me, but I know I have more room to open. I'm turning kind of my eyes and the elbows forward. And I'm looking toward my right. If it's too much, release it a little bit and just make it a hamstring or a quad stretch. Gotta take one more breath. And release. Woo. Back to that downward facing dog. Lift your right leg up, bend the knee, open up the hip, reach, and extend. Draw the right knee into the right elbow. Send it back up. Right knee, left elbow. Send it back up. Right to the center, step. Push, lift. There it is. Bring it back, knee down. We're gonna come up to a 90-degree angle, okay? Tuck this in. Short on time, I had to grab what I had, right? All right. So reaching up, bring your right hand to your right hip, and I want you to extend over to your right side. Beautiful side body stretch here. So you're keeping 90 degrees, sort of 90 degrees, all about the side body. And reach it forward and take it across the right knee, left hand to right knee, and right arm reaches back for a nice little twist. If you want to go deeper, you can curl the back toe under and lift it up if that's what you need today. You need to really kind of get the energy flow moving a little bit more quickly here. Totally your option. And then bring it back to center, walk your toes forward, hinge forward into a nice lunge. So again, you can have that back knee lifted if you want, and you can reach your arms up. Dial those little pinky fingers in toward each other so you can allow the space in your shoulders to be there. You can look up. The wider your hands and the more you draw your thumbs back, the more space you're going to give the upper back, which is hard to open. Take another breath here, lifting up. Exhale. Foot goes back. High plank. You can go right to down dog if you prefer today. I don't know. Again, maybe your energy is low and you need to reserve it for later. You've got kids to deal with. And back down. Roll the toes. We each have a personal energy meter and a personal stress meter. Left leg lifts, bend the knee, open the hip. We want low stress, high energy. If it's the opposite way, we're in trouble. Extend. Left knee and left elbow. Send it back. Left knee, right elbow. Little twist. You can hover there if you want. Use your core. And send it through the center. We're going to all get to the same spot. Push, lift, step. Left knee goes down, right directly down, so we come to 90 degrees. Right arm reaches up, left hand on that hip. Get a little sassy there, and send it to the left side. So my bicep is by my ear. I'm going to always keep it there no matter where we are. Head is back, maybe looking forward. Try to keep your core still engaged. Extend a little bit more. Do you have more to give? Can you reach the fingertips up a little bit higher? There's always a little more, just a little bit more. And then take it across your left knee. Right hand, left knee. Left arm goes back. Make sure you're relaxing your shoulders here. There's a tendency to lift them up, right? Maybe the palm is up in the back. That helps. And bring it back to center. Again, I forgot to tell you, you could have lifted the back knee. Back knee can be lifted here if you want. Hinge forward, modified crescent lunge. So if you're in the full crescent lunge, right, you're just here. Knees just lifted. I'm going to keep it down low today. Inhale, reach up. Because of all the anxiety I just experienced, trying not to be lost in the woods. I used a lot of energy there. So I'm going to keep my arms up, go wide, dialing the pinky fingers in, looking up, and just kind of, this is a gratitude, right? This is a posture of gratitude, a heart-opening posture. Sink into that upper back. Just take your hands down and slide it back. Find down dog, or you can go through your flow. Go through high plank to low, maybe pause halfway. Lifting up to cobra or up dog your thighs. And tops of deep pressing down, shins, thighs, lift the hips lifted. Downward facing dog. And do the flow again. Lift the right leg up. Right knee, right elbow. Send it back. Right knee towards center. Send it back. Right knee, left elbow. Extend your foot out to the left. Straight. Okay? And then just spin onto your right hand and lift your left arm up. We're just adding a little fun thing here. One more breath. And then slowly lower it down. So spin the back toes down. If you want, you can take a little push up here. All right, bend it down, push it up. Send it back. And now go right to the center. That was called fallen triangle. Step it forward. This time, feet wide. Keep your left knee lifted. Now the option here, you didn't know you got the opportunity to do it again. Right hand, right hip. Go to your right. Keep the back thigh lifted a lot. Keep the left heel pressing down. Right knee is bent. And forward. Send it forward. Reach the right hand back this time. Hands to heart now. Hinge. And come into this beautiful crescent lunge twist. Feel free to open your arms. For me, when I press, because my shoulders are so tight, it helps me open the right shoulder more. But if that's not something you're working on, you can work on bringing your left hand down, your right arm up, right? Maybe building from a block to the floor. Find your space wherever you're at. Take one more breath here. And down. Step it back, flow, or just down dog. Cobra up dog. We all meet in down dog. Left leg lifts. Ooh. Left knee, left elbow. Send it back and up. Left knee through center. Lift it up into the belly. And this time, left knee, right elbow. Turn your hips toward the right and extend the foot out from the hip. Spin the back heel, lift up. So we still have support, right? It's kind of like side plank, but with a crazy foot stand, right? Take one more, lift, lift, lift. Push, push, push. And then bring the hand down, turn back onto the toe. This is a lot for the outer hip. It might feel really good. You can do the push-up here if you want. Half a push-up, full push-up. Send it back. You don't have to. Just a challenge, send it through. Widen your legs, reach it up. Full crescent lunge pose. Get in it first. Bend the knee. Lift the thigh back, right? Then bring the left hand to the left hip. Reach over to your left now. You can take the bicep with you, and your gaze goes where your sternum faces, so looking forward. Move a little bit just to see if you are actually getting your side body. Reach the right fingertips up more, stay deep, and then come back up. Reach the right arm forward, left arm back. Try not to reach forward here yet. Bring your palms to your heart space, Now hinge forward and hook your right elbow over your left thigh. You can stay here, hands pressed, turning using the resistance to open. You feel a little twist at the waist there. Engage your right glute or open the arms. Reach your right hand down to the floor for a block or whatever is there. Now it's just about the breath, you guys. Stay in your pose and breathe. Feel the energy moving easily. Take one more breath. And then look down. Hands down. Last flow here. Lower. Up dog. Ooh, downward facing dog. Look forward. Walk a giant step forward or tiny little steps, tiny little hops. Feet halfway lift. Lengthen through the whole spine. Nice, long, straight back. If you need to bend your knees to do that, please. And then fold. Bend the knees a lot, reach the arms wide, press, and lift. Hands to your heart. And just reset here for a second. Again, I'm having clothing technical difficulties today. All right. So just take a moment here in Tadasana. Take a moment in Tadasana. Reset yourself, close the eyes, head is back, feet are pressing down, feet are outer or inner hip width apart, your thighs are engaged, your core is engaged, but your chest is lifted, your shoulders are relaxed. As your face, your jaw, and your breath. And you come back to that intention of being kind to yourself. Open your eyes. I'm going to turn here. Come to the center of your mat. If you're facing it toward me and you're on a carpet, it might be better for you to turn it to the side. If that's just not going to happen, no worries. Just take a wide stance. We sort of did our salutations on the ground, right? So we're going to do our standing postures here just by taking our feet wide, going from one side of the mat to the other, instead of like doing that sometimes. So take your hands to your hips, turn your left toes out. Keeping your shoulders aligned over your hips, just bend the knee. So this is what I see a lot. Go forward, and so does the chest. Okay, you want to stay aligned. So you want to feel that stretch. Once you feel that, look over your left toes to your left knee and make sure that those toes are somewhat visible. Okay, if they're not, walk, you have more room. Right, your length can be wide, reach the arms wide. Warrior two. So I miss teaching classes where I can see people, because this is a quintessential pose in yoga, and although we're maybe in it hundreds of times, right, we still check ourselves out. You got to do that to see, am I aligned? Can I feel the back foot pressing the outer edge of my, the outer edge of my foot pressing down? Can I feel the inner left thigh stretching? Right? If not, that left knee needs to go open. It all needs to happen. It starts from our feet, up our legs, our core, our shoulders. Look over your left fingers. Then all you gotta do is breathe. Take 2 more breaths here. Relaxing into the pose. Good. Straighten, can let the arms drop for a moment. Turn the left toes in. This is not power, right? Turn the right toes forward. You should have a beautiful length, hands to hips. Bend into it. So start with those feet. Notice if you're gripping. Notice if you need to go wider. Imagine that you have an imaginary line, like a strap down the middle of your mat. Okay. And your right foot is on the outer edge. Okay, and your left foot. Well, the heel and the heel of this foot are right on the strap. Okay. Bend, reach. Check out your left hand, lift the outer edge, press the outer edge of your back foot down, and look over your right fingertips. Now you're in it, everything's working, even the glutes, right? Glutes are fired up, yeah. If not, give them a squeeze, take 2 more breaths here. Good, and then release, turn the toes in again. Now I probably went a little too wide here, so I'm gonna flip down a little bit. Turn the left toes left, bend into warrior two, and reverse. Take it right into reverse here. Right hand down the right thigh, left arm reaches up, the bicep by the ear. You can look up. Options to take that right hand behind you, climb it up the back, and maybe pat yourself on the back or grab your hands together. Again, a beautiful heart opener. This is a heart opening practice today. Lots of good stuff going on here in the heart space. Release. Keep those legs stable. You know what they're supposed to feel like. Bring your left hand to your left leg, your left forearm to your left thigh, right arm reaches up. Again, bicep by the ear. It can be overhead or it can be behind you too. Some of my friends out there, right, may be able to bind. So binding would be, again, like grabbing underneath, hinging forward, reaching back for that hand that might be there, and then opening back up. This body's not doing that. So I'm just going to reach my hand down to the mat. It's there today. I've been doing a lot of hip openers, so I feel like it's helped me become more flexible this week. But where can you do less? Where can you ease up a little bit? And back up. Straighten the left leg, left toes in. Ooh, it's like a coordination effect here. And balance. Right toes forward. Find center. So if I dropped a plumb line between your legs, right, it would be right in the center. It wouldn't be more forward, it wouldn't be more back, right in the center. That's how you can think of that. But reverse, take it back. Stay deep in that right knee. I see this all the time. You come out of it because we're going reverse, but no. So again, this feels really good for me to bring my hand behind me. It helps me open my shoulders up, my tight shoulders, pat myself on the back. My hands are nowhere near touching, but if yours do, it might feel really good. Feel awesome. Let your eyes be soft and your breath be softer. Release, unwind. Right forearm, right thigh. Keep that right knee moving outward. Reaching it up, maybe reaching it forward. I forgot my other cat wanted to come in. Hand reaches down for the mat. Oh, see, it's harder on this side, so I'm going to keep my hand on my knee. Maybe take it behind, maybe bind by hinging forward, reaching under and back and grab and clasp and open. Every time we visit, the opportunity to do something that our body feels is capable of, and maybe go a little farther than that. Not always about doing what's comfortable, right? To try new things. Take one more breath. Woo! All right. You know, all the noises, I make a lot of noises because it's fun for me. I know it's working, guys. It's working. All right. So keep the feet wide. Kick the heels out a little bit. So if it's too wide, you know what to do. Just make adjustments. I'm going to suggest that you take your hands behind you, clasp your hands, open the chest again, heart opener, and you can hinge forward and reach all the way down and look back between your legs. Keep the weight towards your toes if they're in the heels or vice versa. Now, for someone like me whose shoulders are tight, my arms aren't going to go very far, so I don't stay here very long. But you can try to lift those arm bones away from the body. Maybe they go a little bit farther each week. Maybe they don't. Or you can stay there if that feels good, or you can release your arms down to the mat. Maybe walk the hands back toward the feet, turn fingertips so that the fingertips face the back of the room, and walk those fingers back and just see if you can maybe slight bend in the elbows, bring the head a little closer to the mat. Softly bending the knees if it's too much, and possibly moving a little side to side. Dangle the head, shake it around gently. Awesome. Bring your hands onto the mat. We're going to walk ourselves over to the left side first, okay? And you're going to keep your hands on the inside of that left foot. Walk toe heel your toes out towards the left corner of your mat and bring your right knee down. Soften the back toe. So, in practicing kindness, this is a better option. It's more intense to take your right knee off the mat, but it's not as kind. So, this is lizard pose. And here's where these lovely little guys come in, right? Your blocks or blankets or whatever you got. You can stay here lifted. It's just an inner thigh stretch. You certainly can stay here and work towards taking your left hand to your left knee and opening it up, right? That might feel good. You can even turn your torso toward the left thigh. You can look over your left shoulder. You can do that on your forearm, right? On a block. Or you can just face forward, okay? Either way, the knee is outward. You're like lifting the inner edge of the left foot up. And you can let the head be heavy if you're not in an active position. You just let the pose work for you. Okay? Take one more nice deep breath in. And lift it up. Again, this is just a beautiful way to transition to pigeon pose. So dial it back a little bit. Walk your foot over to your right wrist. Maybe I have to draw it in a little bit. And then hinge that left knee forward. Look back to your back toe, send it back. So press the back toe down and lift your thigh up. So you're trying to rotate and turn your right hip forward and your left hip back so that you are squared off, okay? So try that. Go long back there. You need to put something underneath your left cheek, you could do that. Otherwise, again, coming down, my left cheek never touches, and I'm pretty flexible in my hips. I've been doing it for 19 years. So if your hip is really high off the mat or your right hip is off, don't worry about it. It really takes time. Or you just may have natural flexibility, and that's good too. Find relaxation in your shoulders. And you can use, again, your blocks if you brought them there. I like to place my forehead on a block when I'm in pigeon pose. It makes me relax between my shoulder blades, and it really allows me to settle into this pose. So it sometimes brings anxiety when we're not really sure how long we're going to be in a pose, right? So let's just take 3 more breaths here, okay? 3 more breaths. Right into that tight spot. Where can you ease your tension? Are you experiencing tension? And slowly begin to lift up. Always be mindful of these transitions, of these difficult, deeper poses, and bring it back. You can just kind of switch it side to side, or you can lift up into 3-legged dog, right? Lifting it up and then bending the knee, opening the hip. It's oftentimes people like to do that. Bouncing around a little bit. Good. And this time, we're going to lift our right leg up and just step it forward. Okay. Same thing, other side. So you're walking your right toes out to widen the gap, okay? And you might even toe heel it wider. And the back knee is down. And you're on your hand, you're on your forearm, or you're, on a block, hinging forward. The knee splays out. Maybe actively, right? Maybe you need this, a little bit of this resistance. The right hand gently presses on the right knee. Again, we're practicing kindness. We're not trying to rip ourselves in half, okay? Shoulders down, gaze might be up. You might want to lift through the chest a little bit here as well. Otherwise, if you're not being active with this, you can hinge forward. And I like the block here personally, 1 block, just flat like that. The baby bear setting. And I can go quite deep here. My hips are quite open. So if you don't look like me right now, there are people who go tons deeper than me, but you're not trying to look like me because your body is your own body. This is where kindness comes in, no competition. And sometimes really, really difficult in a class not to pay attention to other people who have can make a pose look so effortless and so beautiful, but it doesn't mean it's easy for them. Or can you do less? So we come up and so we're transitioning to pigeon. So if you're one of those people that's like, oh my God, this just feels really, really amazing, and I know we're going to be in pigeon for a little bit, you can stay here. Give yourself that permission. You know how to get into it, right? We did it on the other side. So we just mimic that. Knee down. Press the tops of the foot down, lift that thigh, and make sure the hips now right hip forward, left hip back. Okay. And then maybe coming down under the forearms, using the block. Maybe you're coming all the way down to the mat. Okay. The biggest thing I see here is a real resistance in the hips because this is really far lifted or the knee is compromised, so you have to do something about that. I can't see you, through this format, so you have to take care of yourself. So I'm gonna just put a block there and see what it feels like. I'm like, that's helping me out a lot. I feel it already. Feels like I can feel my pelvic floor able to release more than pulling it in, if that makes any sense. So for you here, let's just say 5 breaths now, okay? Your breaths can be long, your breaths can be quiet, your breaths can be audible, but I want it to be just what feels good, okay? One more beautiful big breath here. And as you slowly exhale, you're coming out of the pose. Curl the toe under, take your things out, push it forward. Foot comes out much more easily than trying to jam it, right? And downward dog, open it up. Rotate that foot around a little bit. Good. And then just come onto your seat. Swing it around and lay down on your back. Flipping it around. Extend those feet forward, arms reach back. And extend those knees towards your chest. Move those side to side. Taking a little back bend here, hands towards your feet. Super important to get back bends, to make sure we do at least 1 or 2 back bends in every practice because our back body does not get way enough attention. It's all the sit-ups all day long, right? No, we also have to do other things to encourage strength in our back. So forearms press down, fingertips up, right? This pose is not necessarily about the legs. It's engagement of the core. So do that, engage your core, push your belly to your spine, engage your core, engage your glutes. Okay, let them help out. And now press into your feet, not about the legs, right? Lift the hips up. Yes, the knees are driving forward and the thighs are engaged, but they're going to do all the work unless you engage your glutes, unless you engage your core. Now, from here, roll your shoulders under you. Keep your inner edges of your feet pressing down so that your knees don't flop open. And then experiment here. Experiment. So maybe your palms go down to the mat. Maybe your palms underneath you can touch. Maybe that feels horrible. Sometimes it does for me. You can do this. You can lift your arms up over your head. That makes me get a little higher. If you want more thigh engagement, put a block between your thighs. And I'm going to say, let's just move here now. So lift those hips up on the inhale. And if your arms are clasped underneath you, release them now and reach them overhead. And then as you exhale, bring it back down. That should feel good. We were up there for a long time. Again, press the belly down, engage the glutes, lift up. So you need to feel all that working together. Squeeze the top, arms reach back, slowly, one vertebra at a time, come back down. Just do one more of those, all the way down to the tailbone, push the belly button down, engage the glutes, press into the feet, lift the hips, lift the arms. It's a sequence, right? It all works together like a well-greased machine. Pause there, feet wide, knees go down to the right. And just let it out, sigh it out, sigh it out. Okay? Back bends can be very like, ooh. We grit the teeth, our face turns red. This is what I see anyway. Why is your face all red? Generally, their answer to me is because I wasn't breathing. I don't think the whole thing. Okay, roll it side to side. And come back to center. Reach your right leg up towards the ceiling, bend the knee, and cross the legs over. Okay. Draw your knees in towards your chest. Okay. And then if you can, take the feet wide here. And if you can grab your shins, draw your hands as close to the ankles as possible. Widen the feet. Draw your toes towards your shin. You're going to feel this in the outer hip. If you can't, just grab a hold of your knees and draw the knees towards your chest. So if they don't go wide towards your hip, towards your ankles, it's okay. The adjustment for this, you come in front of someone and you push that down. Oh my gosh, it's so amazing. It's just like, you can only get so far in these poses by yourselves, right? I just wanted you to feel this here, to feel if you have that sensation, it gets into that kind of area that can get really stubborn, really sore sometimes, and then release that. Just bring the sole of the front of the mat now. You're going to shift to the left, so just a little twist here. If this is too much, unfold your legs and just place them on top of each other. If this right shoulder is lifted, bring it down closer to your body. Stress less. When you stress less, you do more. More benefit, and you're treating your body with kindness by doing less. Come back to center. Unravel, just reach the arms back again, just reset, shake the legs out, hug the knees back in. Right foot goes on the mat, left leg lifts up, always an option here to rotate around, right? Cross the legs, lift the feet up. This may be enough right here, just to hold your knees down towards the chest. You're going to feel that in your left outer glute, I would think. And then walk your hands down your shins, maybe pause. Walk your hands to, you may have to lift up to ground and see if you can put your head and your shoulders back down, and then slowly kind of pull them towards you. You're pulling your ankles towards you. You're going to feel it. You're going to feel it. I feel it, and I know where I can't go any farther. I'm going to get a comfortable discomfort, comfortably uncomfortable. Toes can go towards shins, but that's not what it's about. Draw, again, draw them as close as you can, that left knee towards you, without holding your breath. Breathing the stretch. And release on the exhale. So it felt super good. And then draw it to the right. Shoulders on the mat, arms wide. Maybe you can look over your left shoulder. Breath is soft and even. Again, if this is not comfortable for you, this can be really deep for me sometimes. You just unravel and bring the knees up maybe a little bit, whatever feels good for you for the twist. Slowly come back to center. Again, feet wide or long, arms long. And hug those knees in one last time. So if you've got any last pose that you want to do here, you're going to do it now. I don't know what it might be, but you might have something up your sleeve that you are like, I really want to do this thing. If it happens to be a standing pose, just come up slowly, please. And if you're practicing inversions, that's something you want to do. It's just something you need, or you've been working into your practice. You can certainly do that now, but make sure you're doing a counter pose to your inversion, which is usually child's pose or another twist of that sort. So just know that. Okay. I'm just going to be here in a little ball. If you're ready for final resting pose, you can extend your legs long and wide like a big star. You can put your legs up the wall. You just stick your legs in the air. I can be like this all of Shavasana. It's my final resting pose. It might be what I choose to do, or I can come to child's pose. It's the end of your practice, so come back to your intention. How can you create kindness in your body right now? I guess it just feels like this is giving yourself a hug. Okay. And it feels good. So see what feels good for you. Just play with a couple of different poses and see what works. Once you've done your final pose that you want, you've done your inversion, you've found your special place, just allow yourself to soften again from the outside in, right to the center heart space. You know, that's where love grows. That's where kindness comes from. And then just breathe. And we'll watch the clock while you remain in your poses. Someone who is working on building a seated meditation practice or just trying to learn how to sit still for longer periods of time, I invite you to slowly make your way to your seat for this last minute of your practice. Something that definitely you're not used to. It might feel awkward, but it's a beautiful way to end your practice. Your physical practice prepares you for this particular moment. So hopefully you feel more open-minded, more open space in your body, more spacious in your heart, even the breath. Whatever your choice, you can here. So if you're not already seated, slowly take a moment to reach your hands and your feet, lengthen them, and take a nice deep breath in. And as you exhale, hug your knees in your chest and slowly make your way onto your side body and onto your seat. All these movements, transitions, super slow. It's kind of coming back into your life off the mat. Don't want to hurry. Now come to a comfortable seated posture. Sukhasana means easy pose. Sukha means easy. That's easy, but that's what it's called. So we want to step into ease in our body when we're sitting as much as possible. And bring your palms together to your heart. Sitting it nice and tall. Just come back to that intention. Just take a moment together here to be grateful and for ourselves, for things in our lives. And take a moment to send a little love out there to those people that may be suffering, who might need it. If you know anybody in particular, you can send that love directly to them. And back to the intention of kindness towards self. So you can practice kindness towards others. So bow your chin to your chest, honoring yourself, your whole self, honoring each other for who they are, their whole self, honoring the practice of yoga. Bring your thumbs to the center of your forehead, lift your chin away from your chest, take a nice deep breath in. Exhale, namaste. Thank you all for joining me here today. I hope you have a very blessed day. And yeah, ahimsa, be kind.